Hello, everyone. We're starting, guys. It's already 7 o'clock. I know you guys enjoying yourself and talking. But all the crowd over there where the food and drinks are, if you don't mind coming, there's a lot of seats over here. You guys can fill up some spaces here. And we'll get started right away. I know you guys want to keep networking, and we'll do that at the end, if you don't mind. So, are you guys coming forward? The crowd over there, you moving forward this way? It's a lot of chairs. Just keep going, keep going. So let me get started. My name is Johan Borch. I put this together. It's been probably 5 years since we started this. It was me and 2 other guys, but they're no longer doing it with us. But now we have volunteers. We also have my wife that helps out. And I'll talk about them a little bit later. But if you guys know, you guys have a little dot in your name badge or sticker. And basically that's what you're looking for, or what you are, and then what you're looking for is the other opposite person. So if you're an entrepreneur looking for a developer, then you go and talk to the people in red. And same thing with investors. If you're looking for an investor, then you talk to the people that have green dots. So that's really make a connection and have a topic to talk to individuals as well. And we do this just to connect with the network here in the local system in Austin. Let's see if this is gonna work. Oh man, come on. Did it got on me? I'll try this then. There we go. So that's me and my wife. And then our awesome ambassadors and helper are Lydia, Tony, and Carla. I don't know if they can come to the front. Carla, Lydia, I think Tony couldn't make it today. But basically they help us with the food, setting up, registering you guys in and everything. And I just wanted to give them, a thank you for being here and helping out a lot. I appreciate it. We couldn't do it without them. So it takes a lot for this to do. And then we'll talk about our coming events. We have the co-founder meetup is January 11th. We have a speaker, Kevin. He's with Tech Ranch. And then we're planning on doing another interactive networking party during South by Southwest, which is coming up. We haven't sure yet where we're going to do it, but I don't know, last time we had probably over 300 people, so we'll hope to bring a lot of people as well. And hopefully it will be a free event if we find some great sponsors. Small Business Week is something that we're working on. It's going to be beginning of May 1st to the 7th. And I'll be sending email out. So if you guys are not part of the cofoundermeetup.com meetup, you should become, so that way you can get information about what the event's happening, or just go to the tech map and check what the event's happening. But that's going to be kind of like South by Southwest for small businesses. It'll be really affordable. So if you guys want to check that out, stay tuned to that. If you don't mind, turn your phones, vibrate, and tweet at the same time that you guys are here at Capital Factory, and say something about the tech map and all the speakers and events, so that way we can retweet it and connect with you guys, follow you. If you would like to present, sign up to the tech map Tina URLs. That's for the pitching. And then again, are you serious? Hopefully I won't have this all the time. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to. I don't know, I'll fix it later. So this is the upcoming events that we have with the presenters. So I guess you guys recognize a few guys here: Brett Hurst, Josh Bear, Rudy Garza. He's an investor, and some other investors we have there, Jason Seats. And hopefully you guys can make it. We have something that we're starting next year, which is going to be a VIP, but you get a discount, and you have a seating area. So where these guys are sitting, they're going to have the best seats. So if you guys are interested, talk to them in the front. They can tell you more about that. And let me go ahead and say, we couldn't do this also without our sponsors and also our partners. And right now, if Chuck with IBM is here, I would like to bring him up and kind of mention a couple of things what IBM is doing here in Austin for the local community as well. Woo! Yeah.
Thanks, Johan. Hello, everybody. It's been a great year. We've really enjoyed their sponsorship. We've had a lot of events throughout the year, and I'd like to thank Capital Factory and TechMap for that. We are going to celebrate by having a happy hour of our own on Wednesday here at Capital Factory from 5 to 7. It's complimentary, so just Google IBM Capital Factory December 16th, and you can register for that. We hope to see you there. It's 5 to 7. There's a lot of other events going on Wednesday night, but most of them don't start till after that, so maybe you can stop by and say hello, and look forward to seeing you. It's also been a really fun year because of audiences like you. We've met a lot of great startups here at this event, and I know usually you ask if there's how many were here at previous events, and it's amazing that there's always every month there's a bunch of new people to talk to, and we really enjoy that. And the good news is we're going to continue that into next year from an IBM standpoint with our Cloud Global Entrepreneur Program. And this is our offering for startups, which we award up to $120,000 of credits towards the cost of SoftLayer hosting and Bluemix platform as a service. Afterwards, I'll be happy to talk to you about that. SoftLayer is hosting, probably self-explanatory, and Bluemix platform as a service integrates all the DevOps, so you code your application in Python, PHP, Java, Node.js. You can build, run, manage, deploy applications on the cloud right away. So it's a great offering, and we'll look forward to speaking with you about it later. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Chuck. And also want to thank Capital Factory providing the space here. Of course, this is a good location for a lot of you. If you guys park downstairs, you can get a $5 ticket voucher if you park in the garage. Also, the bathrooms are over there, and you guys know where the food and drinks are already. But Capital Factory has its great things going on all the time. So if you want to sign up to their newsletter, you can do so, or just follow us as well. The next person I wanted to bring out is Monica with Richard Rodriguez and Ski. Am I pronouncing that right?
That's good. Thank you very much. Hey guys, good evening. My name is Monica Millienberg, and I am an attorney with Richards, Rodriguez, and Skeeth. Specifically, I work with entrepreneurs in all phases of their business's life cycle. I've had a great time getting to speak with a lot of you, and if I haven't yet, I hope to get to know more about you and your business. And I'm really excited to be here tonight on behalf of our supporting Austin's entrepreneurs. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Just out of curiosity, how many of you have been here before? Okay, that's great. How many of you first time here? Awesome. So I'm glad that you guys are returning. Just tell your friends too. So the next person I wanted to come up is Galvanize. Jessica, if you could come up, please.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Jessica. I've been in the Austin tech scene for the last 4 years working at South by Southwest. So I recognize a couple of friendly faces here. And I'm working in a new capacity at Galvanize. Galvanize is a network of technology campuses. And our Austin campus is opening February 1st down on the 2nd Street District in the new North Shore building. Galvanize is different from other shared workspaces in 3 ways. So beyond just providing companies and startups with a table and a chair and saying, go to work, we provide them with hands-on entrepreneurial programming in the form of mentor sessions and workshops with partners like 500 Startups and Techstars. Our network of technology campuses means that you can work at any of our campuses across the country. So if you're taking an important investor meeting in San Francisco and really need to get head down on your work, you can book a conference room at that campus as well. And then third, our education programs, our immersive classes in data science and web development provide a great pipeline of opportunity for great talent for all of our member companies. So we're filling up quickly, and if you have any questions, I'll be around after the event. You can also find more information at galvanize.com/Austin. Thank you.
So I'm glad they're opening up because actually we're looking into doing a hackathon over there, and that's going to be with Angel Hack. So we'll have a lot of developers and a lot of people with good ideas, and probably create some of the startups or software stuff going on during, I guess it's going to be in May, right? So I'll be running that, and we'll see you guys later on that one. The next person I wanted to bring was Golden Hour Media, and actually he was not able to make it, but I just wanted to show you a clip on some of the stuff that they do, and they've done it for us. They can do for you guys. See how it works. Today I'm here at the Co-Founder Meetup. Meetup is one of those events that we put together, that TechMap puts together every month here at Austin at Capital Factory, and we're actually doing it every second Monday of the month. We created this as a way for networking for other individuals that are looking to pitch their company, they're looking for co-founders, where they can meet and at the same time kind of maybe hire them or maybe co-found a company, start something.
My first one was very interesting. I liked it, I enjoyed it. I started meeting people, and I keep coming back because I keep meeting awesome companies, but at the same time I start conversations about marketing with all the people that pitch.
I get a lot of feedback. I've used it on the products I've gotten. I've got a free feedback on marketing, on technical, on entrepreneurship, etc.
Go and pitch. You need to always constantly be pitching your company because you never know who you'll meet. They'll be extremely passionate about what you do and will champion your cause and help get you connected.
Whatever you're trying to do, you're going to get great feedback. And by the way, you may find someone that will help you along and be a co-founder with you, so you have more chances for success.
I think it's the best environment out of any other pitch environment that you can try.
I'm working on an app myself, so this is actually a platform for me to get used to it and get comfortable so that I can do a pitch here in the near future.
So pretty much that was our pitch for our events and the stuff we do for the community and for everybody here. But we'd love to get you guys, success stories up there as well. So definitely would love to get you guys to participate in more of our events as well. The next person I want to bring up is Fresh Idea Group. Jason, you actually probably heard us speaking earlier in the video. He's the guy that does our blogs. So every presenter here at Keynote, he's actually the guy that puts that together for us, and we have a partnership with them.
I get 2 times to speak, and I didn't have to do the first one. My name is Jason Freshley. My company is the Fresh Idea Group, a digital social media marketing agency. Met Johan a while ago, and we started chatting about just miscellaneous marketing things, and he had me come in and start blogging. I actually had a client recently reach out to me, and one of the big things they asked me, it says, customer service, digital customer service, online customer experience for 2016. So I'm doing a 2-part blog post. One went out today on my LinkedIn, and the next one will go out later this week or Monday. Depends on how my week goes. Because as you all know, our customers drive businesses. So if you're not nice to your customers, then you don't have a business. But anyways, that's my story.
Thank you. And last but not least is Sean from Makersquare here.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Snuck up on you. Hey everybody, thank you so much, Johan, for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm with Makersquare. We're a programming school here on the 5th floor. We primarily teach JavaScript. We're kind of an accelerator for folks who want to pursue a career in software engineering. I wanted to invite you to an event that we're doing tomorrow night. I feel like this is definitely the crowd that we would love to have in attendance. It's actually here at Capital Factory at 6:30. It's called Changing the Paradigm, Female Trailblazers in Tech. And we've got a really great panel of female tech leaders who are programmers and tech leaders who are going to speak about the issues of diversity and inclusiveness in the world that we all work in. So it's free to attend, and you might be wondering, how can I get that? How would I possibly find the link for that? And thanks to Johan, he sent you an email. So check your email inbox. You have an email with that title as the subject line, invite from TechMap and the Co-Founder Meetup. So if you want to know more about our program and what we do here on the 5th floor at Capital Factory with Makersquare, I'll be around for a little while. I actually have a couple of handouts, and I'll leave those up front. But again, I'm Sean. If you ever have questions, come and see me on the 5th floor. Cool, thanks.
Thank you. So if you want to check events and stuff, just go to the tech map and they'll show all the events. So that one's actually posted there. So for you, that you just got signed up and you were not a part of the co-founder before, so you can check out what's going on. And let's just move forward. This is pretty much the presentation format for the speakers. This is not the keynote speaker, this is the pitches. They have 5 minutes to present, 4 minutes audience questions. I have a timer. And then we ask people to pick up their trash. I know it's tough to do, guys, but we ask people to pick up their trash. Their mom is not here to pick up after them. So definitely will help if you guys can do that so we can get out of here quicker. We'll be here till 9. We try to finish around 8:30, and we have 30 minutes to network, and then you can go downstairs to the bar downstairs. You can network more as well. And if you'd like to present, just email us a team at the Tech Map, and you can go from there. Then we have the presenters. This is pretty much the companies that are going to be presenting. This is what they're looking for. They're seeking investors or seeking partners. And if you picked up one of these flyers, it will also have their information there, there in the front. And you can connect with them afterwards and network and kind of give them some feedback as well, because they won't have enough time with the 4 minutes. And let me bring up Shari, Ressler. Win Ressler. Sorry about that. I'm gonna use my accent. Yeah, I'm horrible about that. So she's out of Austin, and she's gonna talk about what she's doing lately for the Austin community as well. And she's a great speaker. So let me help me bring her up to the front, please. Applause.
Hi everybody, can you hear me? Okay, well, I'm going to get myself all settled in. We're going to coordinate a little bit more than we usually would with the technical difficulties, so I'm going to be facing the screen a little bit more than I usually would. So the first thing I want to say about Johan is he was the first person that talked to me when I told him that I was going to start an accelerator that was not about technology. And I said to him, I really want to be on your tech map. And it was very interesting. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and I want you to know something. I've actually never been to one of these events, and my topic tonight is to talk to you about how to connect for success. So I'm trying out this. I actually haven't given this talk before, and I couldn't have picked a better place to start, because here we are. And if you look at what the Tech Map is about, literally you're going to see my slides look a little like the Tech Map in terms of understanding that our success is really about our ability to build communities around us to help us achieve what it is that we set out to do. So I'm really excited about talking to everybody about this, and I'm excited about being quiet and listening to questions that you have, if you have any. And you can really ask me about anything, because I've been around for a while, and we'll get rid of this slide soon. I don't have a whole lot of slides, so but enough. Just to kind of tell you a little bit about myself, I've been in Austin 19 years, and I came here when our entrepreneurial community really was quiet. It was a very quiet time. And I was a lawyer. I graduated from Berkeley, and I went to DC, and I worked for a firm that was number 31 in the world. It was a good one. But my real passion was to create something that was a legal consultancy that would help people achieve success. And we're going to talk about kind of what my purpose is and what purpose is about. Why don't we move to the next slide? Then I started, and you'll see this, I started in Accelerator. And the reason why I started SKU, it was started as Incubation Station and it's now SKU, is because we were serving, having grown up in this entrepreneurial community and served on a lot of boards and committees. We were serving a lot of technology companies, but we were also serving a lot of companies that were not technology. And one of the things that we found is that our non-technology companies could not find mentors and could not find industry experts and could not find the people they needed to find that this organization is putting together for many of you and others. But we just couldn't find anybody to send them out to be able to understand how to actually turn their ideas and their products. and their brands into a company so that they can in fact scale for success. So I founded SKU. It's now in its 5th year, and it's going to be 2016 is going to be a very exciting year for that company because we've now worked with 23 companies. You probably know a few of them. One of them is Austin Eastsiders. There's Promezi, Epic, that we have a microdermabrasion company called Trophy Skin. I mean, it's kind of a range of consumer product goods, but it's going to continue to open up, and we are bringing in a new CEO, which I'm super excited about. And she used to be the president of Frog Design, and I don't know how much you know about Frog Design, but they designed the Macintosh, so they've been doing design for a little while now, and it's pretty exciting to be bringing in somebody with a national and international reputation to help us to scale nationally and internationally. So super excited about that. And then the third thing I do is that last year I founded with a law firm and accounting firm, a combination law and accounting, which you can do in London. I can't do it here in the States. We founded something called the International Entrepreneurial Law Bar Association, and that is to bring together entrepreneurial attorneys, which, by the way, we actually helped develop, which is really, really exciting, which was part of my vision and dream. And we're going to be bringing people together to establish best practices. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we talk about how it is that, in a sense, you can create a life that brings you what you want and has success. So the first thing is you've got to know what you want. And you'll hear a lot of people talk about purpose. And it's one of those topics that I think, we've got a lot of, kind of like, oh my God, what do you mean? Can we do good and do well? Can we actually do what we want and make money? And I actually am one of the true believers, and I think it's my Berkeley flower child background that really did go to law school to love people in a powerful way, which you will see. But, I think understanding what you want to accomplish and what your purpose is personally and professionally is really important. I'm going to be talking to you about that and how it applies in my businesses. And the purpose of this talk is really to kind of give a little format to how you can create maps around kind of who you are as a person and also the enterprises that you engage in and how it is that you can build what I call a network for success. I mean, my whole thing is about connecting for success. This is what I do. So, and then action. And the action is, you can have all this purpose, but, I have a lot of very fun and spiritual friends who think that oming all day is going to get you what you want, and it doesn't always work. You have to have some action, and you have to have a way to translate that purpose into what it is you're doing. Maybe it's your business. Now, what I will say is I think entrepreneurship really does allow us the opportunity to be able to translate kind of who we are and what we want to accomplish into businesses. And this is why I've been such an entrepreneurial evangelist since the time that entrepreneurism was really just for people who couldn't get a job. And that wasn't bad. Some of us couldn't get a job because, we really didn't like to work with other people. I tend to like people, and I can have a job and I can have a business. But, this really was a fallback. And what's really happened is there's a shift towards, instead of entrepreneurism being the fallback, it's the choice, which is really amazing. And that's a 19-year shift that I've seen. And believe me, I know it's taken a long time because my law firm was alone in the wilderness for lots of years doing an area of law that not a lot of people appreciated. So I'm grateful to still be here. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the next one. So, I think translating your purpose. I mean, the bottom line is you're an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, I believe, and I know I am an entrepreneur in everything I do. And that basically starts with myself. In other words, if I have a plan for the kind of person I want to be and what I want to do in my life and how it translates and who I am with people, then it's really not going to translate in what I do in my life. And I really want to live a life where I can be one person consistently. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because there's this very big discussion about having a balanced life and, going to work and having your work and then having your personal life. Well, I just put it all together, and it just meant that anybody who was going to be one of my husbands, there's only been 2, they've both been my law partners. And one of them is here today. But I will say that, I love working. I've always said I kind of have a California heart and a New York soul, and I worked for a New York law firm. I love to fucking work. It's just what I like to do. And the reason why I love it is that every day of my life, hopefully I get to help change a life. I want to be able to help people reach success. So I'm very passionate about what I do, and I want to have a life that I wake up in the morning and I go to bed at night, and I don't have to pretend like with you I'm one person and with you I'm another. Now, this has been an interesting thing to accomplish given the fact that I worked in corporate America and I've also worked as an entrepreneur. So, I don't allow any excuses for this in my life. There's basically one person. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't times I wear jeans and there aren't times I wear a suit, but generally what you see is what you get. And that is a very high value for me. How it translates is that means that I believe that to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to know yourself really well. I mean, I believe that being an entrepreneur and being in business and doing the things that it takes to be in business means that you get to know yourself kind of better than you'd like to, because you're really going to know your strengths and you're really going to know the stuff you're really shitty at. And the secret is to not be in denial of that and hopefully to hire around your weaknesses. So let's go to the next slide. So here's what I did in my life, and is I decided to build a community, and I'm pretty good at this, and it's the reason I started speaking on it is how is it that you build a community and how do you build something? So, I've got multiple businesses now. It took a really long time to get the first one, the law firm, to really be humming, because I can tell you that the entrepreneurial law thing did not pay off for a really, really long time. And I had friends, a lot of my friends, that sold $50, $100 million businesses, $200 million businesses while I was still humping in that law firm, not making a whole lot of money, okay? But I just really believed in what I was doing, and I really believe that entrepreneurs should have senior people that do their work, and that you should have people. I just know that when I started my law firm, I could not find any service providers to treat me well, and I just have this passion around that just because I'm an entrepreneur and I left a big company doesn't mean I shouldn't get any respect. So this is, one of the reasons that I started the firm. So, but in any event, that took a long time. SKU, thank God, is not taking that long to get hot, because when I started Incubation Station, investing in product companies was not all that hip, okay? Oh my God, I picked a wave, because right now the retail industry, I don't know how much you know about the retail industry, but it's pretty much crashing right now because all of the technology is catching up to it now. They kind of thought they were oblivious. They were very oblivious and very protected for a very long time. And now the Walmarts and Targets of the world are trying to figure out how the heck they're going to innovate and get natural products and all of the things that we were doing at SKU. But it's pretty exciting. And then with the EBA, I think that's going to be really interesting because it's the idea of an international opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to start with sharing a little bit about my life. And I'm going to invite you to think a little bit about if you wrote a map about yourself and what you do to become the person that you're going to be in your life. It would be kind of interesting, right? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this, and I'm going to add a little bit more meat to this bone. So, and how am I doing? I want to make sure I don't go over. So,
you got 5 minutes.
Oh.
I'm afraid you're going to fall.
Oh, you're afraid I'm going to fall? Oh my God. No, I'm not going anywhere. This is good. I'm not going to fall. Yeah, that's what I thought in my career. But no, I'm still here, man. I'm still here. Okay. So, here I actually have a brand. It's called Shari Ressler. I have a website, shari.io. I basically did it because, frankly, I had too many companies and too many people emailed me, and I had to put it into one. But, I have personal support. That means that I have maps that I write of intentions of my life, and I do all kinds of woo-woo groups with women, and some men show up, where we talk about what we actually want to accomplish. I run a group on living authentically and successfully, which I don't charge for. Like, these are my girlfriends that get together, and we all got what we wanted, and I'm running a new group. So we're really very intentional about becoming the people we need to be to get what we want. That means removing any kind of fears, removing any kind of prejudices around, well, what people are like with money. I can tell you that's a real big issue for women. I don't know if you guys have that issue. But there's a lot of intention around personal support. Sometimes that means you go get therapy. Thank God not too much. Maybe it's a 12-step program. I don't know what it takes, but you got to keep your head screwed on straight if you're going to be able to do this. Okay? Because for me, part of the goal is that in the end, I don't want to be an asshole. So it means that all the success and all the things, I have a value that at the end of my life, hopefully I will die with no regrets, and I won't have a conversation that I haven't had that I regret I didn't have. Okay, so in other words, there's a lot of intention around the kind of person that comes to this organization. There's professional support. I have coaches. We've all heard the most successful people have coaches. I have friends that are brutally honest with me. Like, in other words, if I'm not living as the person that I say I am, they will kick my ass. That's kind of the agreement with my friends. You know, I have professional support. People that are coming in. Doreen Lorenzo, the woman who's coming into SKU, you know, deciding that I'm not the best CEO to take it to where it needs to go. You know, she has events she can't come to. She was really sweet today. She said, I can't come to an event. I'm going to be at the White House. Okay, this is a good person to have in your professional network. There are professional people and professional support. There are a lot of women in town that help me. There are a lot of men in town that help me. There's this group is a great professional support. But that's different also than relationships. Okay, I spend a lot of time both meeting people and getting to know them, but also developing deep relationships. That leads to a community of people. I'm very involved in the Austin ecosystem. I just am. I've been around. I give a lot of time. I don't necessarily talk about it all the time. I'm getting a little better at that. And, you know, there's, in a sense, what it takes to get me ready. Let's move on because I don't want to run out of time. So then there's the law firm. So our purpose, and then just I want to say, so my purpose is to love people in a powerful way, which sounds really airy-fairy, but it's not. Because the way it translates is I help people be successful. So I'm Jewish, okay? Like, I'm set up half my friends with their husbands or wives, okay? I'm a little bit of a yenta. I'm also the person that can find your best doctor, your best restaurant. I'm the gal, everybody comes to everything. I just put it into a business. I happen to be an attorney. It worked, okay? Now I have a law firm. The purpose of the law firm is to ignite success for our clients, friends, and community. We help people build businesses, support the Austin entrepreneur and investment industry, because I'm also an investor, and we build diversified industries. We now have a category of consumer product goods as an industry in our city. We did not have that before. SKU is the reason for that. Or a part of that. Very exciting to be able to actually effectuate that. And where is MWR Legal? We have our internal, we have our attorneys and staff who believe in us. We have our clients and friends, we have strategic partners, anybody you could name. That means you get an accountant, you get people that are going to help you. It's all a lot of the co-working sites, and then we're very involved in the Austin startup community. Let's move to the next one. Then there's SKU, purpose, accelerate the growth of stellar CPG companies, and again, we wanted to diversify the Austin economy. Help companies achieve success through connection to serial entrepreneurs, investors, and industry experts. So again, we have a community that we've built around that. And what we're doing now is we're reaching out to large retail. That's the big change. And that's what's going to take us into international growth. And then with EBA, our Entrepreneurial Law Bar Association, purpose is to represent the new economy. That means that lawyers are not the same. As you know, and Richards, Robinson, Skeeth, they know that we are different than what we used to be. Face it, you can go to LegalZoom. You have to have a reason to come to me. The reason you come to me is I have a network of people you want to meet. I can look you in the eye and understand being an entrepreneur because I started a firm with a phone on the floor. I mean, the bottom line is that lawyers really are not, it's not an industry like it used to be. It's about the relationship. So with the Bar Association, what we really wanted to do is to help lawyers like us be successful. Because believe it or not, it's very difficult to represent entrepreneurs and make money. Because face it, when you come to get us, most of the time you don't have money. Or you're raising money. So it's hard. It's really hard. It's a challenge. We also want to set best practices for being entrepreneurial attorneys and help people do that. Because I've been doing it 19 years. And we got a little experience, and we want to get international people involved. We also are going to be very involved in micro business development because people set up their businesses and they set them up wrong, and it costs them money, and it costs them their businesses often wrong partnerships cost people their businesses. So we're trying to fix that and teach other lawyers what's the best way to go about this and how can we help our community and raise all votes. So that's kind of who I am and what I do, and what I'm hoping is that you can feel free to ask any questions on anything, and I'm willing to talk to you about anything or about what's hard about connecting. Some people have a really hard time talking to people, I'll just tell you, but everyone can do this. I think you naturally do this. I think it does take some willingness to be intentional about it. So, thank you.
If you got any questions, and she call you out just in regards to whatever she presented, or if you want to know more about SKU, just go ahead and ask away. Anybody?
I'm scared. Okay.
So, what is the key to getting into SKU?
So the key to getting into SKU right now, I'll tell you, is that you need to be a company that we're ready to help. So there's a couple things going on. One, you need to be a market validated company. One of the things that's interesting about SKU is that we are not an ideation incubator. We are an accelerator. So that basically means that most of the time our companies are going to have revenue. They're going to have some traction that has showed that they are accepted in the marketplace. So for example, I don't know if any of you have had Promisi snack chips, but Promisi chips they're the chips with the big red dot on the bag. But in any event, when they came to SKU, and they were in our first track that we ran, literally they brought in a very ugly, greasy bag of chips that were about 5 inches long, and they were about 1 million calories. I mean, but you know, the people that brought them in, they were this great couple who had owned a company that was a catering company. This chip came out of that. Everybody wanted these chips that they were making. We decided that it was an artisan chip because it definitely wasn't going to be in the low-cal category. But we ended up going with this company because they had figured out how to sell their chips, and they were like the number 5, like in the top 5 SKUs at wherever they were. So they showed promise. The other thing is we felt that the entrepreneurs were ready to be in SKU. That means that they're going to be ready for growth because we really do have an impact. I mean, Promisi is nationwide now, and they are selling a lot of chips. And they've got about 5, I don't know, maybe 7 SKUs now. They're ready to be a company. They had 2 people in the company who were ready, but you know, at Showcase Day, which is our version of Demo Day, they actually brought in a president to their company who had previous experience, who was brought into our Showcase Day by one of our mentors. So that's just a little bit about what they need, but a lot of it is just, you know, sometimes it's the niche, sometimes it's because they're healthy, sometimes, but we have, you know, we have products that people wouldn't expect, in the sense that we brought in CM4 and they did iPhone cases, but they wanted to become a company. They were at 2 million when they came in, but they wanted to be a company that did innovative products, and now they have an innovative product company. So a lot of it is whether or not we think we can take your company to the next level. And also that we have the mentors to help you, because we have retail relationships that we're establishing, and now people who come through SKU starting in 2016 will come through and probably have about 25 to 50 interviews with retailers when they graduate. So we're really going to be picking people. It's going to be very competitive, and very exciting. So.
What was the moment that you came up with SKU?
The moment I came up with SKU. I was talking to a very good friend of mine in the Austin ecosystem, and we were talking about how we could formalize mentorship around entrepreneurial companies. Because I can tell you that for a lot of people with entrepreneurial companies, the investors, which I'm one, and larger companies get really, I mean, IBM not included, but they get really scared to get involved with a lot of entrepreneurial companies. Because it's kind of what happens, and I can tell you this, there's a retail show that happens once a year, and companies sign up and they pay a fortune to go, and they will get a seat with an HEB, and they will ask them what a distributor is or how many stores they have. And it's like a really bad waste of time of these people. And so entrepreneurs get kind of a bad reputation with larger companies, that they're not going to be ready to go to the show when you talk to them. And so part of what you're trying to do in all of this networking and ecosystem is to figure out how to ask all the dumb questions. And I think this organization is a great example in the sense that you can come and you can practice, and you have peers that you can practice with, and you learn things and you do things, so that when you hit a really big investor, you're ready for the show. So I was talking to him, and we thought about it, and I was thinking about all of the consumer product companies that I represented. I was thinking about the fact that my dad founded the consumer products, consumer sciences department at UC Davis. And and the fact that I'm the girl that everybody asks what the good shit is. And I thought, you know what, this would be more fun. And I will tell you, I didn't know this, but I would say half the companies are owned by women. So we don't really have a low woman quotient in consumer products. It's kind of sexy. So, and I kind of thought, if Coca-Cola's like the biggest brand, we could probably have a good time with this. And then I went to Clayton Christopher, who was a friend of mine. We were in Entrepreneurs Organization together. I don't know how many of you guys are interested in EO. And he had just sold Nestle for $200 million. Sold to Nestle, sold Sweet Leaf Tea to Nestle for $200 million. And since then, he sold Deep Eddy for $450 million this year. And so there's big bucks in consumer products. Anyway, I said to him, I think we can find a way to get our friends to invest back in the community. Because that was the other thing, is I wanted all my serial entrepreneur friends to have a way to give money to new companies. So that was another inspiration. So it was a couple things going on.
One more question.
Yep.
So the companies that come in, you talk about them partnering with the retailers, but you also mentioned the change in the landscape of retail versus the e-commerce versus the entrepreneurial mindset. So if a company were to come into SKU that didn't necessarily want to go into retail but was a consumer products good?
Oh, well, we don't. Okay, so I will tell you. We have lots of different companies that come in to SKU. Some of them are only sold online. We have a company called Pride Bites. I don't know if you guys know about Pride Bites. It's a customized dog toy. And the interesting thing about Pride Bites is they can customize one dog toy. Like not just a line, but anything from one to like a full line for a company. So it's pretty exciting. They're all online. So we have companies that come in that translate and sell in lots of different markets. And one of our board members is Dan Graham of Build-A-Sign, and he's pretty good with online. So we have a lot of online experience. So it really is going to be about what the company is about. I will tell you the one thing right now that we have not supported is pure lifestyle businesses that don't want to actually have an exit. But I don't know that we never will do that. It's just that in the beginning, we really catered to a lot of the people who were coming in because they wanted to invest in companies that were going to be selling in 5 to 7 years or 3 to 5 years. I mean, the idea is to speed that up. From what I understand, Sweet Leaf was over 10 years. Deep Eddy was under 5 years to turn over. Our goal is to get these companies turned over quickly. So if you wanted to hang on to it, it probably wouldn't work as well.
Quick question. Did you invest in Deep Eddy?
Oh, I only wish I invested in Deep Eddy. Let me just tell you. There's about 10 guys, and I don't know if there's any women, but there were about 10 people that invested in Deep Eddy that I know of that were in our private group, and they're very happy people today. But, but anyway, yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And she'll stick around in a few minutes here, and we'll start it with console. This is our pitches. Come on, guys, wake up a little bit. JC is going to be talking, pitching his company.
I don't think I ever could have got a better segue for what I'm about to say than what you just said. Hi, everyone. My name is JC Glancy. I'm the founder and CEO of Counsel. Counsel is the first ever white-labeled enterprise software platform specifically designed for law firms. We automate the document creation process for law firms and turn loss leaders into profit generators. By combining modern technology, simple design, and a partnership with CT, the largest incorporation services company in the world, we're able to decrease costs and inefficiencies associated with incorporation. So the problem, just like she said, is that law firms are losing money during the incorporation process. It is a loss leader for the firms, and it's a repetitive process that should be automated. How does this thing work? Okay. Got it. So council solves that problem by automating and streamlining the incorporation process for the firms so that they can incorporate their clients in minutes rather than hours. And so then they can also focus their time that they saved on higher profit margin work. So we also provide them with a white label platform that allows for branding and organically enhances marketing. So they can give this to their clients, and now their clients, business owners, entrepreneurs, just like yourselves, will have a white labeled app to the law firm that has a secure document repository so that they can access their corporate documents at any time at the touch of a button. And there's a two-way messaging feature so that they can contact their lawyer whenever they have a question, should they ever need to. So I want to quantify the actual value that our solution provides to the firms. So when compared to traditional methods of incorporation for a law firm, counsel will save on average 4.5 hours of time and increase their gross margin by 35%. That's pretty awesome. So how do we make money, right? Due to our partnership with CT, we make money per incorporation. So we charge on average $389 per incorporation, and then another $220 annually for registered agent service. But as we leverage our partnership with CT and get our foot in the door and gain market share in these law firms, we really believe that we'll be able to charge on a SaaS basis, so per head, per firm, per month. So I want to talk about the team, right? Because I think that's the most important. Myself, I used to work in incorporation services, and then I'm also an ex-Facebook employee. My CTO, Raphael, is a software consultant specializing in mobile applications. Van, our other co-founder, and the VP of engineering, is currently a sophomore at MIT. He studies computational biology. And Jennifer, right here, came to us from DLA Piper, where she helped create the NEST program, and she'll be helping with making the product happen. So the way we got here was, now we're on the enterprise, but we started with a consumer version. It's called Startup. Some of you may or may not have heard of it. It was the first and only mobile incorporation service in the App Store. So you can start a C Corp, S Corp, LLC in any state in under 10 minutes. So that's still available. So if any of you want to download it, feel free. Tonight we'll offer it for, we'll do your incorporation at costs for the foreseeable future. Just get in touch with me, and I don't think there's really anything else, so I'll leave it up to you guys, but thank you so much for your time. Johan, thanks for the event. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any question?
Any questions?
Sir.
Do you have an API I can plug into?
Oh, we can, not at this moment, no. So right now we're still raising investment to build the enterprise platform, so, eventually, yes. Next question? Surprise.
Sir, what sort of customer traction do you have at this point?
For our consumer version, which is in the store, we have, pre-revenue, under 10,000, have about 20 or so incorporations go through it. Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
Come on, wake up, guys.
Wake up.
Questions. Alcohol was good, but...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you describe some of the features of the product? So what
I
understood is it's a combination of, let's say, real-time messaging plus a cloud storage of documents.
Sure. Here's an example. So say Shari was a client of ours, right? We would give her a free platform, white labeled to the name of her firm, and then she could give that to any of her clients for free with a downloadable link for you to download. And once you download it, all of your corporate documents would be accessible on that application at the touch of a button. And if you ever needed to get in touch with Shari, besides calling or emailing, you can message her within the platform. And that way it's kind of on an official channel, so you're not calling or texting her late at night when she's with her, family. And then above and beyond that, there are some other things it does as well, but those are the main features we're focusing on initially. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Ma'am?
How did you get your team together?
Oh, blind luck. No, so Raphael and I actually met last year during the Austin Rice Alliance Entrepreneurship Workshop. We both had different ideas at the time, and then this came up. We realized, hey, there's no app in the App Store to incorporate a company. How does LegalZoom or Rocket Lawyer not have one? So we started working on that, and then through just meeting people, Raphael knew Van for the last 10 years. They're old friends. His older brother's best friends. And through our network, we met Jennifer, and she's been, we've probably talked to like 100 lawyers by this point in time, and she was head and shoulders above the rest. So.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Got a final question back here.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yes.
How do they do the entity selection process?
Well, so it's a good question. Basically, since they have the messaging feature,
Can you repeat the question, please?
Oh yeah, sorry. So the question was, how do they select what entity they want to set up, right? So when because you'll still have an initial consultation with your attorney, or that can be established then, or because we integrate with the firm's forms as well, you can send out a questionnaire, and then through the messaging feature, you can establish it that way. There's a multitude of different ways in which you can reach that fairly easily. Does that answer your question? Thank you guys so much for your time. I want to congratulate Johan for TechMap being chosen as one of the top startups to watch in 2016.
Appreciate it. Can you go ahead and bring the next speaker? Right Connect? I think he sent me a message saying he was going to be late. So if he's not here, Santosh. Okay, we'll bring out the next person. John Ray, Peppy.
Yeah, thanks. Pass that around. Can you hear me? You have the slides? Who here has a dog or has a dog in their extended family? Just in case. Wow, that is awesome. I thought we were going to have a bunch of red dot robots here, but we don't. We have people with actual pets, so that's good news. I'm going to introduce myself real quick. My name's John Ray. I'm the founder of Peppy Pets. Johan is critiquing me to keep this at 5 minutes, so you're going to have to listen well, because I'm going to talk really fast, and that's about all the time I have as far as introducing myself. Peppy Pets, the word, no matter what dictionary you use, the word peppy comes with very positive connotations. It means lively, energetic, high-spirited, and that's an important piece of our business model and our market focus. And the word Peppy Pets is meant to be cute. And in fact, the logo is also kind of cute. And that is an intentional part of our marketing strategy and the customers that we're targeting. The Pet Life Discovery for $29 is a tagline. It means a lot as well. We could have called this a activity tracking device for pets. We could have called it a Fitbit for dogs. In fact, I've used those different terms at different pet expos as a way to gauge a reaction from customers. But this is much more than a pet activity tracking device, and so hopefully this Pet Life Discovery message makes sense to you as we go through this. In our market research, we asked customers what price they would be willing to pay to get a product that had the features such as Peppy Pets. And one of the findings we found through that research was that customers are willing to pay actually quite a bit more than $29 for these features. But what we decided is that $29, we believe everyone's going to try this product. And once they try it, I believe they're going to continue using it. So that's kind of the storyline behind this. So what is Pet Life Discovery? Why would someone buy it? And why is it more than an activity tracking device? So for those of you that don't know, the pet industry is a large business. In fact, in the United States alone, it's a $56 billion market. What I think is more important, though, is not just the money that people spend on their pets, but the amount of time they spend. And so there's quite a few hands here, and you know that the time you spend with your pet is significant. And it starts as soon as you wake up in the morning. You have to go outside and take the pet out, the dog out, to go to the bathroom and get some fresh air and smell the grass. And then it continues throughout the day. The time is spent washing them, walking them, feeding them, bathing them. The list goes on. And so the point is that for the most part, we spend a lot of time doing a lot of different activities, but we rarely have any kind of information to help us understand the characteristics of the dog and the activities we're actually doing. And so that's what Peppy Pets is about. It's about a single source of information about your dog. For those of you that were here last month, you heard Joseph speak about Ride Scout. And what was Ride Scout? Ride Scout was nothing more than a single source of information related to public transportation. And so Peppy Pets is very similar to Ride Scout in that it's a single source of information on your dog. So as far as what kind of information we plan on focusing on for our initial release, it's information generally in 3 categories. It's going to provide you facts about your particular dog breed so that you become more informed in the activities that you're performing with your dog as it relates to their health and their well-being and their level of activity. What's the best way to train them? In addition, there's an activity tracking device which you can see on my sexy little models that are going around. There's an actual activity tracking device which will give you information about their actual activity level, comparisons to what the target is for that particular breed, also allow comparisons, capturing of barking data so that you know how your dog's behaving when you're away from home. And then the last source of information is going to be mainly events and activities taking place in your community, so you can be active with your dog out in your neighborhood and enjoy some fellowship with other dogs. As far as the technology, I put some bullet points on here so you get a feel for the kind of technology we used for you Red Dot folks. But for the most part, the product's done. We've gone through a round of production on the chip. The firmware's been developed. The connection with the mobile phone app is done. The mobile phone app is about 99% done. There's still some graphics to finish. And all the back-end services, website, and e-commerce are up and running. We'll do one more production run to test the product and merge it with the plastic enclosure and make sure everything works good. But our intention is to launch this product in the first quarter of 2016. As far as the team, I don't really have time to talk about the team. I will make a comment that those of you may have heard the saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. I think the great thing about the Austin community, folks at TechMap and the Capital Factory is we have some great talent in this community, and I suggest you not only network with them, but use them. I have a lot of stories about these companies. 7 out of the 10 companies are out of Austin. One's out of Dallas. The other 2 started with me early on in the development process. But great stories I can share about all of these companies. As far as competitive position, I mentioned that we are, we believe our unique position is being a single source of information on dogs. There are other products in the marketplace. I've gone through all of them. I can't talk about them right now. But for the most part, their market niche is is much narrower, and their strategy is narrower, and they're focused on a very specific component of the market, which is very different. We believe our focus not only is a unique position right now that'll help us on our launch, but our future product releases and intentions should keep us in that competitive position. Our marketing strategy is going to be targeted towards very active pet-friendly cities. There's a reason for that, the term Peppy Pets. From there, we will continue to expand from our target market of these particular cities. Revenue model is pretty straightforward. The intention is to replace the product every year. For those of you that know anything about the wearables market, anyone who's using the product after 6 months, they're considered a retained customer, which is a very important metric. So we believe anyone that's still using the product after a year would be more than happy to replace it at $29 to get the new chip and the new product. As far as what I'm looking for, as far as being the founder and launching in 2016, we'd love to find a co-founder that could either help on the technology side or marketing side. It's going to be hard for me to do both at the same time. So we'd love to see if there's anyone that has a skill and loves dogs. And as far as investors here, there'll probably be a little bit more investment, and primarily focused on Bluetooth certification, the final plastic enclosure and the molds that go with it, as well as final production setup, which will probably include a video, which I know has to get done, but I haven't done it yet. If there's any dog owners that want to go through the testing, as I mentioned, we'll go through one more round of chip production and testing before we launch this in the beginning of next year. That's it. This is an email. You can reach me out if you have any questions. I may have time for one or two right now.
Yeah. What was the purpose of the throwing the dogs? Is that like so you can detect them?
For the tech people, they could look at the hardware, the chip,
Okay,
and
gotcha.
see the plastic enclosure device.
Okay. Any other questions?
So is the vision for this thing is to be like Fitbit, where I can see my dashboard, like what my activity is daily? So would I be able to see a dashboard of my dog?
Yeah, so the phone app has a dashboard for the dog, but a lot more. I think the challenge even with Fitbit is it's very focused on just your personal activity level. And there's not a lot of other information that really is useful. And so the one thing we're trying to do is provide a lot more information about a particular dog breed. So not only its personal activity level, but what it should be doing and how it ranks against other dogs of the similar breed and size, plus a lot of information, as you saw, about barking. You saw the information about events and activities, as well as vet records and keeping kind of a calendar. So it's meant to have a lot of other information versus just what the Fitbit does. That's why we went with a different name.
So it's benchmarking plus tracking.
And benchmarking. Yes.
How durable is the device for like weather, swimming?
Yeah, it'll be waterproof. We know that dogs like to get wet and run and spend time in the lake, so it will be waterproof. I went through the slides really fast, but it will be primary cell based. That won't be rechargeable, which we think will help not only with the enclosure and the durability, but should help customers enjoy the fact that you just leave it on the dog. You don't have to take it off. And so our big focus has been on power management to make sure the thing would actually last for a year.
Are you planning on introducing geolocation or?
So the question was whether I'm introducing geolocation. It's a great idea. We're just getting through the minimal viable product release right now. There's a lot of direction we can go, not only with information sources, but other kind of capabilities. When you talk about some of these that are focused, some of the other competitive products that are just focused on lost dogs, right? And they're focused on GPS, and they spend a lot of money just to make that work. I think the geolocation, plus the other kind of capabilities we can have to track not only activities and events, but in mapping as far as parks and where everyone else, there's a lot we can do. And there's some similar products in the marketplace that don't focus on just activity tracking, but use geolocation that we've leveraged as far as ideas, though. It's a good idea. You in the back, standing?
So I already bought one, so I'm really excited about it. But I wanted to know, do you know, like when you enter the breed info, can you do mix? Like if you have a...
It's funny you asked that. I was at a pet expo, and this one lady came up and she said, I have a very unique breed. I bet you don't have this breed in your system. And actually we did, so she bought it. We actually have about 1,500 breeds, including mixed breeds, loaded in the system. So I believe we have it. And she had a really weird one, no question about it. Are there any questions over here? Yeah.
Last question.
Anything with IoT?
Have I done anything with
Are you
IoT?
going to do anything with IoT with that? Like, let's say the dog gets closer to the door and the door opens up, or water, food.
Yeah, so kind of like with the geolocation, I think there's a lot of other opportunities we can go with this kind of hardware in place on the dog. It's a great idea. I've had a few other people come up to me, especially with the Bluetooth enablement. There's a lot we can do as far as future direction with this. But again, we want to focus on the dog right now and being a single source of information for dogs. So, am I done or do?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'll be here afterwards. You can ask me more questions. Appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. So we're gonna have a raffle. We're gonna give away a shirt and maybe a hat. So if you guys want to put your business card there, just call around and put it inside there, and we'll do it at the end. So you have to stick around. And the next person I want to bring up is Benu Cody with Genie Labs. Is he here? Okay. Santosh is still not here, right? Okay.
Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? It's good for me. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Venu Guti and I'm the founder of Genie Labs.
Can you hold the mic up to your mouth?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm the founder of Genie Labs and my name is Venu Guti. I'm going to be talking about the product called My Business Genie today. But before that, let me... sorry about that. Okay, so how many of you are not from Austin and who have moved into Austin recently? Okay, so we are going to be having a pretty bad storm this year, and Austin City is preparing for it. And this is how it's preparing. Okay, and I'm not in the business of snow removal at all, but we are in the business of helping professional services industry with managing their businesses. One of the key challenges with professional services industry, when I talk about professional services industry, it's mainly the landscape designers, interior designers, photographers, all those kind of guys. The key challenge that they have is there's a lot of players who are moving into the industry. Most of them are unorganized players and relatively new, and there's a significant amount of price pressure on these guys. They need to make themselves present professionally. They also need to reduce their sales cycle. They further need to simplify their back-end activities, and that's exactly what we focus on with My Business Genie. My Business Genie is basically has three major components. The first one is the admin portal, the second one is the field app, the third one is the client portal. Imagine this, if you are a landscape designer and if you go meet your customer, instead of taking notes, coming back and sending a quote, imagine if you have an iPad app on which you can showcase your previous work, your portfolio. You can also showcase your catalog of products and services, including the items that you have within it. When they like certain items, go ahead and add them to the cart immediately, then create a quote, show it to them, let them review it, and then let them also sign it. After they sign it, you can go ahead, swipe their credit card, and charge them immediately. So imagine this whole sales cycle, which typically happens between 2 weeks to maybe a month or so, finished within just one single meeting. That's what the app basically helps them do. Now, once the vendor is back to their office, they would have all of that information stored in the cloud. They can access that data and further go ahead and do scheduling of tasks and things like that. The client portal basically enables the vendor's customers to view all of the same information online and make bookings online. So that's what the whole solution is about, which significantly helps small businesses, especially within the professional services industry, to manage, simplify their business, and also increase the speed of sale. How do we make money? We have free subscription. With the free subscription, every time the customer makes a payment, there is a charge that we have of about $5 per transaction. With the pro subscription, it's about $20 per month or $30 per month, depending upon whether you're going with an annual commitment or not. And of course, we also have an enterprise solution, which basically would mean we would set it up and provide additional services in terms of customizing if required. And so why are we here? We are here for additional investment. We are a team of currently 4 partners. We are based out of Austin. We set up in 2013. The product is ready at this point in time. We are in the process of doing beta testing. I'm also looking for a marketing personnel who can help us out with marketing and who has that experience in the past. I'm also looking for a technical architect who has specifically mobile expertise and support personnel as well. So that's it on my side. Any questions?
What differentiates this from a Salesforce?
Salesforce is not focused on the front end. We are focusing more on the front end. So through our app, what we have made the app to be highly visual. So you can use that to showcase your product services, immediately add those items to the cart and create quotes and invoices, and also to manage some of the back-end operations. So it also enables the users, the vendors to schedule. Now that you have all of that information of capturing the lead and the associated calendar or scheduling related activities, you can go back to office and start managing all of that stuff. You can assign tasks to your employees and do all that kind of stuff. And we are primarily targeting at the professional services industries and small businesses. That's the difference. Yep.
What research did you do to come up with the $5 per transaction price point?
So at this point, we are basically running that with our beta customers. Typically, the transaction volume for most of these small businesses are anywhere between $200-300 to a few $1,000s. So on that, $5 is not that big of a deal. And by the way, we are not charging anything for the paid versions. It's only for the free that we are charging that additional amount.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Which kind of channels are working to get in front of your target audience, also small businesses more efficiently?
So we are looking at multiple channels. Content marketing is a big one. So we are optimizing the site for SEO. We are also going to be investing quite a bit of money on content marketing related activities. We are also going to be doing affiliate marketing. So that is one important one. Referral marketing is going to be another channel. Trade shows, magazines, those are the ones that we're going to focus on.
One last question. Anybody else?
Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll ask you.
Okay, so if you look at Justin Turner with Food Art to come to the front, I'll get your slides going.
Hello, my name is Justin Turner. I'm with Food Art. Food Art is a software platform for food trucks. So who here likes food trucks? Yeah, love them. In fact, this company was founded with my co-founder and myself because, frankly, we kind of just want to eat more food trucks, but it's kind of hard to do. That's because food trucks in general is a relatively new industry. And with being a new industry, there's a lot of problems that are yet not solved. So there's a lot of problems, but what Food Art is trying to initially go with solving is twofolded. Food trucks are hard for food truck owners, and they're hard for food truck consumers like you and I. Why are they hard for food truck owners? Primarily because there's limited marketing channels. I mean, you can have Facebook, social media, or Twitter, maybe a website, but at the end of the day, you're trying to use these fundamental channels to market. There's not a real way to market food trucks. Additionally, for food truck owners, it's kind of hard to find a location. Some locations are sketchy, they're getting bought out by condos, or the food truck park will cancel leases, or you have to be really kind of connected and inside to park your food truck. On the other side, for consumers, food trucks are hard to find. Like, who knows what their favorite food truck is at right now? I know all the time I would go to work lunch or be at a night out of town, go to my favorite food truck where I usually think they're going to be, but I'd go there and they're not there. They just left or they were never scheduled to go there. So we're looking to solve these two problems initially. So how big are these problems though? Like, why does that matter? Well, right now there's estimated 2,000 food trucks in Austin alone. The food truck industry is estimated to have a $2.7 billion market. Right now, there's zero focused competitors. Like, yeah, there's Yelp, there's some blogs right now for food trucks, a couple of mailing lists, but there's no one focused on food trucks and that vertical. That's where we're trying to come in. So on the consumer side, let's talk about the consumer problems that we're trying to solve. We have an app. Our first app is right now live in Google Play Store. It's called Foodar. And what we do is we map food trucks, put them on a map in real time, and so the consumer, you pop it open and you see what food trucks are around you. What's cool about this technology, we utilize IBM Watson. So what we do is we parse basically social media accounts or websites. We also detect patterns in their movements and put it on a map. So we can put these food trucks on a map without pre-sales or any contracts negotiated with the food trucks. Our second app is more geared towards to the business, B2B. So we're trying to solve food truck problems, right? So we want to be the spare foot for food trucks. We're trying to go to see, get food truck space owners to go put up and list their lots that they need and what food trucks that they need. And then we go, food truck owners can go and look at where they can park for that day, for that month, and negotiate those contracts. So how do we make money? Well, primarily from the B2B, we're going to be brokering these commissions from food truck spaces to food truck owners. Again, a very proven model. Sparefoot's an excellent example based here in Austin. And from the consumer side, from a consumer app, we're going to be doing affiliate sales, driving marketing from traditional marketing app pushes to specials to promo codes that we will track and take a commission on. And then all of this data coming from both sides of the industry, we're going to be doing business intelligence to leverage these revenue models, revenue streams. So myself, Justin Turner, Matthew Blackstone, my co-founder, and Jacqueline Miha, she's a social media marketer. It's us three with the dream, basically. I'm technicals, business, and media marketing. So why are we here? We've actually, like I said, we're launched in the Google Play Store, and we have over 200 private beta users, and we accumulated that in 1 month, and right now we're looking for seed funding. Up until now, we're bootstrapped. Thank you.
Question.
Sure.
So you've got everything mapped. Can you, for instance, can I get on my phone with your app and say, here I am, I want to know where the closest Thai food truck is?
Yes, you can search by category of food trucks, so you can discover new food trucks. Yes.
So you're not going to charge the food trucks to list them?
We do not. We like to long-term negotiate contracts, but primarily just to get to GPS devices by means of a mobile app, so we get even more accurate, or we can do some stuff. But we're going to add on sale food trucks, so we can feature them, promote them, do stuff like that. Yes.
Could you give me an example of what sort of affiliate sales you're looking for?
Sure. So if you go, we can push out basically a promo code to get 10% off of kimchi fried burritos, and you use that promo code because we push it to our app. You go to the food truck, use the promo code, we can tie that to us.
Yeah.
Sure.
So first, I think your approach, so you're dealing with a two-sided market problem, and I think your approach to both sides of the market is really fantastic because you're able to provide value before you built out that market. You're able to provide value to both sides.
Right.
I'm curious if you can break down, it seems like you've got a lot of traction in just this month. I'm curious if you can break that down into the two sides, how many users you have that are food trucks and how many you have that are consumers.
Sure. Right now we have 50 food trucks we're tracking in our consumer app with 200 private beta consumers actively looking for food trucks. Right now the marketplace is actually still under development, but we've had interest from food trucks who are committed, from 10 food trucks right now who committed to using our app. More of a marketplace, actually. Sure, in the back.
Yeah, I'm curious about, can you share with us how you estimated that 2.7 billion market? Is that your total available market, or is that?
Sure. There's not too much data on this, and we actually want to become a food truck, or heavily vertical, or trying to service food truck needs, not just location services. So there's not that much data, and we actually want to become the authoritative data source. But just some Google searches, market research, we found there's estimated 2,000 trucks that came from some estimations out there at Google, 2.7 billion on Google. Not an authoritative major player in the statistics.
So I got a question.
Sure.
So the next thing you guys are building, you said that you guys are going to talk to landowners or to park the trucks. Is there a specific kind of zoning that is required for a food truck?
There is, and that varies city by city actually. So food trucks is actually a new industry. Legislation actually varies city by city, and we've seen that on the upswing. Culturally, food trucks are becoming popular, and as well as legislation saying food trucks can exist. They don't need these heavy regulations that we see vary city by city, but that does vary city by city, and there are some regulations.
Are you gonna have like a way of the owners sign up to say, hey, I got a spot here or something like that?
Yes, there's food trucks right now. Food truck space owners, what they have right now is like a sign on the fence with a phone number saying, "Hey, we're accepting food trucks. Come sign our lease." They're going to go instead use our marketplace, list their places, and the food trucks can buy them.
Okay. One last question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm like relatively new to Austin, but at least back in LA, they would just kind of drive up, and there was a lot of people who would like post on Twitter or Facebook and say, "Hey, I'm at Koji's on 5th and Broadway."
Right.
You know, is there any way that you want to add that kind of social media or integrate with Twitter in that kind of way?
Yes.
I guess depending on city to city, I don't know how it works in Austin really.
That's primarily how food trucks in general market right now, social media.
Right.
And we want to, again, negotiate these contracts with them to get our GPS in their hands, but as well as be a social media platform for them so that they check in, so we don't have to do parsing. And when they check in, hey, we're going to be here, we actively manage their social media feeds to do that automatically for them. Because right now there's some serious time investments to interact with social media that they have to do themselves.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I don't know if the last presenter, he put in Meetup that actually he was running late because there was an accident at I-35. I don't know how many people had that issue. But it's Right Connect Santosh here. He didn't make it. I think we're going to skip him for this month. But I do want to go ahead and do the raffle. If you can call one of the girls out there so they can bring the business cards up. And the process is going to be basically, once we do the raffle, we'll have I'll turn some music on at 9 o'clock. We have to leave, but you'll start networking at that point. But I'll have somebody just put out some business cards. If you haven't put it in, just put it out now, or just write your name in the paper and put it in. We get started. Hopefully we can tell people to come next month. And we're live casting this event, and we're also recording it, so hopefully people can watch it or send it to people. Go ahead and pick somebody to get it out.
Yeah, you gotta close your eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, you can get your own card.
We have Ernesto Transgonzales.
Okay, Ernesto, you're gonna be here to win. So if you're not here, then Ernesto, are you here? Okay.
Hey.
And get one more. And I'll give you a shirt or a hat, your choice.
Do I come up or do I sit down?
They'll go ahead and take you to the back.
I have Matt Blackstone.
Okay, Matt, so there you go. Thank you guys again for coming. Don't forget to pick up after yourself. And at 9 o'clock, I'll turn off the music and we can network down more. But right now, just start networking. Thanks for coming again. Appreciate it.